Hello everyone, welcome back to Jenna Voice. In today's video, I want to come back to the Pagliacci topic, the opera I just did with Utah Opera, and talk a little bit about how the process was for staging the opera. So with Utah Opera, they bring in different directors for every production they do, meaning we don't just have one company director who does all the shows. They like to bring in different people for different styles, different types of operas that they do, and I think that helps to keep the feeling really fresh and exciting with the variety of operas and productions that are put on from season to season. But the particular director they used for this opera, they have used in the past. I think the last thing she was here for was Carmen last year, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, she was fabulous to work with. Her style of directing was not anything out of the ordinary from what I've experienced before, but for those of you who may have not been in many productions yet or many opera productions, I'll just give you a little bit of a feel for how that process was for staging. So particularly with the chorus, our roles can vary from show to show. They did, for this production, give us all kind of small sub roles, if you will. We're all in a village in Italy in the 1930s. Like most choruses, we're kind of commentating on the action that's happening with the main characters and reacting to what they're doing, sort of thing. But we're not high society people. We're from a smaller village. Most of us are from more modest households, middle class perhaps. But for example, they gave all of us kind of a, like I said, a sub assignment or sub role. Mine was to be a middle-aged shopper, whatever that means. Some people were flirts, some of the women were mothers, some were widows. We also had a lot of children in the chorus, which was really fun, added an extra dynamic. But I have to say, for most of us, having those sub roles didn't affect much of what we were doing by the time we got to staging and putting the whole show together. But it was just, I think, kind of fun to have a little small character in our minds and may have affected some of the mannerisms we use, the way our character acted on stage and carried ourselves on stage, with that little extra characterization. So with most productions, with staging, you pretty much just work it scene by scene, chunk by chunk of scene, depending on how long the scenes are, figuring out where we're entering the stage. There was a good amount of us in the chorus, so when it came to entrances and no, really just the entrances, she kind of broke us up into different chunks and different groups that entered from different sides of the stage. We utilized multiple wings on both sides for our entrances, which I think made it very interesting to watch, visually exciting. And then we would all have our cues to enter at particular times in the music. Once we were on stage, especially in Act 1, it was a lot of mingling with different chorus members, but making sure at the same time we had, you know, the center of the stage really set apart for the lead singers of the show to make sure, you know, they are the spotlight, they need their drawn attention, so we were reacting to their entrances, things that they were saying, things that were going on, and just kind of a lot of excitement and hustle and bustle. And she even had some people do a little bit of dancing that suited some of the music. I was kind of glad to not be part of that because I'm not a great dancer, but it was a lot of fun to play around and have fun with each other on stage and have little moments to move around and talk. And then when we exited for Act 1, we all exited together, upstage left, as we were singing the end of Act 1. So we had a little bit of singing off stage, and our chorus master, Michaela, was there to conduct us as we were coming off, because we obviously were losing sight of the conductor as we did that, so that was really helpful. And there were also monitors on and off stage for us to look at in the wings and around the theater. Depending on where we were standing, we always had a view of the conductor, which was really helpful. I know not all theaters are able to have a lot of monitors, but it was certainly helpful in this case because the director had us in every place on the stage and off stage during musical moments when we needed to sing. So I don't know if we would have been able to pull that off so well without the monitors, so that's a big bonus of working with a company that is able to do that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Act 2 was a little more sedentary because we were watching a play on stage, so we were not moving as much, especially when the play started. So that changed the dynamic that way. And then we kind of all froze at the very end of the opera. If you're not familiar with Pagliacci, there's some stabbings and death, and it just turns really ugly really quickly at the end of the opera, and it ends on a kind of horrible note. But so we didn't have an exit for Act 2. We kind of just froze, and then curtain came up and we bowed. So that worked out pretty smoothly. But that's kind of all I have to say on staging for the opera. Like I said, nothing was too radical with it. We did use a rigged stage. That was, I think, my first experience with the rigged stage, so it did take a little bit of getting used to using that, but other than that, nothing was too crazy or abnormal for an opera chorus. You know, like I said, we're commentators. That's usually what our biggest role is for most of the operas you go to. They're commentating on the action that's taking place between the main characters, or they're attending a party, or they're just saying hi to other chorus members. I don't know, I just feel like that's mostly what we do. So, but it was, again, so much fun. If you have any more specific questions about what we did in terms of staging, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer you. I also plan to make at least one more video just talking a little bit about what we did for hair and makeup and costuming for this production, how that affected the chorus in any way. But it was so much fun. I'm doing my best to share as much information as I can. So if you guys like these sort of videos, do give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your feedback. As always, make sure you're subscribed to keep up with more videos like this one. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.